Hey everybody, welcome back. It is time for me to achieve ultimate greatness or something like that. I'm going to be talking a little bit about this banner, my feelings on Fae in general, whilst I will basically commit to Spark maybe 200 orbs, 300 orbs, just to see how many May I can get. If it's going well, we'll see. There's been a lot of left field alts this year so far, and I know that we've only completed like 2 full months and a week of the year so far. But pulling out some deep dives like a Tethys alt and a May alt, freaking legendary Ira for bro, absolutely insane. But we'll get into that in a little bit here. I want to start by thanking members because I'm doing a recording here. So shout out to members. Thank you for your continued support. I'll throw the higher tiers up on screen so you can properly receive a shout out. We have echoes tracks going on in the back. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know how loud it's getting picked up. But I'm ready. I think I'm ready. This has been my Tempest Trials team so far. We have like 40 spots open. That is not a lot. that does not bode much confidence, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, actually, we have just enough to get to Spark, don't we? That's tight. So we're actually looking at green and blue. So this entire circle is incredible. Well, there you go. There it is. I mean, bro, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not proud. I'll take plus speed. That's chill. We get the merge. That's even better. So we're ultimately trying to get a Plumeria and as many Mays as we can. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It feels really nice getting a lot of heroes that I'm excited for. This year we really didn't. Last year we didn't really have that too frequently, and it kind of okay. Well, I'll take it. All day, every day. What an incredible first circle. The only thing I'm a little bit bummed about is that there's no Bowie. Anytime I see May, I feel like Bowie should also be there. And he's not, and that makes me a little sad. Keep the buck. When you have that, yeah, I don't know that I need that. Well, do you need anything really? No. Beast Agility. I don't even know if that's new. I have it. I have a personal vendetta against beast moves at this point. Because there's not a good way to multiply those skills outside of Ether, who is currently on the Tempest Trial Focus banner, which admittedly was a nice surprise. But I mean, I guess if you want to multiply Beast Cav skills, that's great. But there are others, you know. I don't know. If I am able to multiply skills, which ultimately means that I spend less on the game. I will be more inclined to to roll, but like I'm kind of just not building beasts right now because there's no good way to amp up their skills and reuse that the way I can with other rearmed and attuned heroes. And I have a backlog, bro. Like, I want to build Tibarns. I want to build Aexineers. There's a lot going on that I want to do, and I can't. Well, I could. I'm choosing not to out of principle. Especially last year with how beast heavy it was. It's kind of crazy how we didn't get a rearmed or attuned option for all those skills that came out. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but I don't even know when Eater had a rerun before this Tempest Trials focus banner. So I'm kind of in my anti-beast phase at the moment, strictly because I feel like they need to better address the resource multiplication with that particular hero type. That's all. And I know most of the time the beasts that they do release are like kind of OP, but I don't care. Respectfully, I don't care. They have done a better job with dragons. I'll give them that. We have a couple dragon rearms now. People are gonna start complaining like, "Oh, dragons," but like it's Fire Emblem, you know. When in doubt, we're gonna go colorless. I think, right? Oh, probably should have gone red. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't want either. Don't need either. I'm strictly here for the OP dance and May. That's it. That's what I'm here for. I feel like a fair amount of people when the reveal happened, because it was a bit of a roller coaster, where I was like, "Oh, cool, another 4-star." Because Tethys dropping, like I think we all kind of assumed that if there was a Johanna banner, then Tethys would probably be on that, and there was, which is great, and a 4-star, even better. And I saw May, I was like, oh, goated. Okay, 4-star. No big deal. Surely we'll be able to max out and complete that in the course of a year. For sure. Okay, we'll go red this time. It getting hit with a Plumeria immediately after, and I was like, she's going to be the backpack. It's not even a big deal. And then she wasn't. I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, it's unfair. It's unfair. A lot of the titles I don't have that much. Wow. Okay. A lot of the titles that I don't have that much nostalgia for. They're picking out the few characters that I genuinely do have nostalgia for, which is feels hurtful to me. But that said, it's just kind of a lot, you know. I feel that availability is kind of the actual end game for heroes, specifically around skill multipliers. That being like attuned and rearmed heroes. That when you get one copy of them, it refreshes all the skills they have, and then you have, you know, a library as big as you choose to be able to duplicate those skills, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. With the frequency at which new skills come out, even that are just side grades, I feel like making them more accessible, if you are thoughtful with your resources, is okay. But like I said, with beast units, it's a little bit different, and there are some others too that have been lacking. Nice. Okay. Not a 5-star, so we keep that. we keep that here. But again, it is nice that a lot of my favorites are getting a spotlight this year. That's cool. I didn't really have that last year, which was kind of a bummer. It is a bit of a double-edged sword. Now, that said, I've had... I don't even know if a love-hate relationship is the right way to phrase it, because I've never liked max merging to the degree of plus 10. I think it's just kind of like it is overkill, but it is fun to max merge when you're really excited about that particular hero, right? So as I have done, as many others have done, I do not fault. And I think it's perfectly fine so long as you are, again, thoughtful with your resources, and that's how you're doing it. But there's not that much purpose to it. And half of the reason I did it, I think, was so that it could feel complete. Right? So it's not so much for like the extra stats, because sometimes that doesn't even matter. So, sometimes the final merge really doesn't even affect the stat point that you care about. You can talk about certain game modes, acquiring max merges and stuff like that, and the benefit you get from that. And that's kind of a separate conversation, or at least a side conversation to the main one, which is there's our plus 10 Celestia. Hey, that didn't take long. That didn't take long. See, this is why I didn't panic immediately. I know that banner went away last night. I was like, we're like 1 or 2 copies away. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. We'll get her at some point. She'll show up in the manual somewhere. I don't know. Doesn't matter. She'll pop up. That's hype. That's exciting. That's really cool. I like that a lot. But yeah, I don't, and many people will also say there's not really a reason to max merge anymore. Outside of, favorites or like certain modes that you care about. But I came to the realization that that feeling of completeness was always only temporary. Because like you can max merge, and that's great. And then you don't technically need any more copies of that particular hero anymore. But the kits get outdated, right? Too quickly. Nice. Another one. Bottom left, man. Bottom left always coming in clutch. Bottom left always got my back, dude. So yeah, your max merged hero is usually only temporarily complete. Many times, I think you will find that after you complete, and even with like Duo Rhea, I know full well that within 6 months she's gonna need a different kit. Right? I know that. It felt really good to have a near and far save completely figured out, like a week into her debut, and that was great because I've been waiting a long time for a rail, brother, and that's great, and it's a good feeling. But the rate of progression of the game in terms of like new skills that come out or new base stat lines that come out and stuff like that, there's our 5-star. I was waiting for the 5-star to show up, bro. I knew it would happen at some point. That's chill. Should I give it a go? We're at 4.5. That's not nothing. I could get a veil. Yeah, okay. It's only 7 orbs. That's a good enough budget reason, I guess, to go for it. We haven't been getting that many greens anyway. We'll get to sparkle a little bit faster this way, while maximizing our rate up and yada yada. Yeah, nothing there. That's okay. Only 7 orbs though, not a big deal. Certainly not 15 that could have been and whatnot. But yeah, the heroes currently only kind of temporarily feel complete now, which feels kind of bad to an extent. Like if you had a bomb ass Takumi back in the day, like you were set for a while. And I know that's like literally intro days. But now the skill creep that happens and all that, it's like, well, I've got the perfect favorite unit right now, but when the skills come out, what then? And it's just like, if you like that, that's great. I would never take that away from anybody. For me personally, it's a little bit exhausting. It's a little bit tiresome. And I don't think that I have ever oh. Well, that's unlucky. Well, golly, that's unlucky. Ooh, yeah, it's real unlucky. Maybe 80 near save might be good to have on backlot. That might be okay. Well, well, it is what it is, I suppose. We'll take the Plumeria because I feel like of the banner as a whole, that's by far the best possible option. If I was a real one, I'd take the May. But we had not gotten a Plumeria yet, which, you know, the Gilliam popping in last minute is a sad reminder. Are we full? Surely we're full, right? Yeah, we're full now. Let me scroll down here and actually see how many Mays we got. Where do we start? I feel like, okay, there's Lonk. So we're there. Okay. So we got 1, 2. A Titania, that's a dub. 3, also a dub. 4, 5. Okay. All right. I mean, that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. Let me firm some of this up real quick. I'm going to keep the Celestia there, just because that's kind of hype. I'm going to try not to accidentally manual one of the Mays, because that would be unfortunate, and I can never take that back. Okay, we are up here. Cool. And then we just got a couple more. No Maze. Great. Yeah, I don't know, man. It feels a little bit it feels a little bit almost what's the word? Not never ending. Kind of never ending. Futile. It almost feels a little futile. Like your perfect gaming moment is perfect just in this snapshot for whatever time window it's going to be. Which I guess is the nature of live service games in general, right? Like even with Halo 3 back when I did a lot of live gaming for that. They would come out with like new abilities, or there would be a patch with like new armor that would look way sicker than what you had. Or there we go. So not surprising, not anything I'm taken aback by, but I think it's the rate. I expect stuff to get dated. I expect units to not feel as good as they used to. When you're playing through the map, unless it's Golvig. Triple Golvig team still clearing like it's nobody's business. but it does feel fast, I guess, which is my issue. And the thing that I am in particularly waiting for, and everybody has their own thing, right? Chronicos talked about this on his channel, who is great, by the way. I think a very underviewed creator in the space, Chronicos is. For the, I don't know, he bro, he when I had him on for hero reviews, like, he was always upbeat, and even the stuff that I go watch that he does, it's like, you know, anyway, very underviewed, very undervalued, Chronicos is. He more or less had his beef being like the power creep is insane. And I think he had gone through this another time prior within the game. So it kind of ebbs and flows. But for me, I think what I'm waiting on is to see what they do with the feedback that we gave them for the survey that they asked for. Because in my opinion, if they are not willing to share the consensus of the feedback, then it is more or less just the illusion of them taking our feedback and progressing the game in presumably a positive manner. Dude, we are killing it on Maze. Bro, we're actually crushing, bro. And we're like barely at 200 orbs. That's tight. Spring is going to be lit this year, dude. But yeah, for me, other people have issues with power creep. Other people have issues with characters they like not getting in the game, or equal representation from titles and things, which in fairness, I feel like they've gotten a little bit better at. It's still not equal by any means, but I think that the representation factor has gotten a little bit better. For me, it's very much about the feedback, I think, at this point, because I have played enough live service and gacha type games where I expect certain greed mechanics to exist. I expect certain power creep to exist. But when they ask you for feedback and you give them honest feedback and you're real with them, you could do what, I'm just throwing examples out. Don't get mad at me. Okay? Don't get mad at me. I see you Genshin stands. Okay? Don't get mad at me. But you could have a response like Honkai Star Rail or Wuthering Waves, where you give them feedback and they actively make changes to the game that are beneficial and that people care about, and that ultimately make the game better, because it is a player-wide consensus majorly, right? Or you could ask for feedback and then say, we're addressing the hottest concerns that our players have. Look. And then it's some absolutely pointless like thing that nobody ever asked for, was never even on anyone's radar, not even actually an issue in the game. And they're like, look, we're making this better. Aren't you happy now? And that, in my opinion, is the illusion of them caring about what you have to say about the game. When in reality, I have a bit of a bias here. I genuinely believe that gacha games could be some of the greatest games ever made, because there are consistent update windows. There is, okay, Nerg, I see you. Okay. All right, with your eyeball book and such. That was unexpected. You have anything I can give to May? Maybe. We'll see. Probably not. We'll see. That was wildly unexpected. I forgot where I was at with all that, but the general gist is I am hopeful that they are not giving us the illusion and why Gacha games could be great, but they never actually are. I think they could be great because of the consistent window updates and the constant content that's coming out and the availability and eagerness for players to give feedback if the publisher and development teams are willing to accept that feedback and actually make actionable change from that feedback. And that is how you have a game like Wuthering Waves at launch compared to Wuthering Waves at 2.0. Right? And look, not all the updates are bangers. Not every decision made is, S tier. But the receptiveness and I guess the quickness to take that feedback and do something with it is ultimately what is lacking in a lot of live service games. Not all. And there are others besides the games that I've mentioned that I feel like do it pretty well. Games that I haven't even played. Right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, if that receptiveness on behalf of the devs and publishers is not there, then it's a $5. Okay, send me them feathers, girl. I see you. Send me them feathers, girl. I see you. Are you speedy? No, you're attacky. Big herdy attacky. I don't know. I'm all the rambling aside, what I am ultimately waiting for is to see what happens with that feedback that we have given. I made videos about it. A lot of my colleagues made videos about it. And ultimately, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Feedback's good. There are some game communities that feel like talking negatively about the game as a whole or certain aspects of a game that they play is a bad thing. And it's not. Because, okay, Nintendo has this policy, right, where I think it was Miyamoto that said it, where a bad game that's been released is bad forever. But a game that takes years to come out and is good, we'll never have to worry about that issue. Or I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's kind of true and was true back when live service updates weren't a thing. But now there's a real-time interaction. Girl. I don't think I'm on the plus 10 out of principle to keep it 100 with you guys. But that's tempting. That is very tempting. That's really tempting. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, what are we at? Okay, we're here. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bruh. Okay, if we get really lucky in like the last 30 orbs, and that's chill. I think that would be close to 300, which is what I was starting out with, which is fine. I was willing to commit around 300. There's a lot of good banners coming out. This one is, all the characters are very soft and cute looking, and the Kippu art, man, it's unfair to hit me back to back bunny years with Kippu art on the Harmonized Hero. Like, that's unfair. It's unfair, and I won't stand for it anymore. But anyway, I'm waiting to see what happens with the feedback. I actually have a question in to find out if they plan on sharing what was sent to them, like some sort of breakdown about, you know, a dev notes we've heard you type of thing. Seeing what happens with that. That is ultimately what I'm interested in knowing, and I may or may not ever get. I may not get a response. To this day, the amount of questions and feedback and stuff I've sent in, not once have I ever gotten a response. I think people who get responses are lying. I genuinely believe that because I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And, in the meantime, I think honestly, it's healthier to not be obsessed with like plus 10ing a bunch of stuff. It is a fine line that I draw with giving that kind of I don't want to call it a criticism, because I don't want to criticize people that do it. I like selectively whaling, which I think is very different than, just going out and everything new that comes out just immediately going on it. Like when I get a favorite that comes in like Duo Rhea, I was like, bro, my arena runs are going to be lit for a little while. You know what I mean? Like, dude, my ARD, if I choose to update it, I still have not. Easy street. And I'm like, yes, I get easy content for a little while now. That's sick. I don't chase making that content easier by getting every new thing that comes out. I selectively go after, characters that I have some sort of affinity to or nostalgia with or stuff like that. So I don't judge anybody that does it. I think that's my sign to quit. Again, I'm chilling. I'm big chilling to wait and see what happens with the feedback. That's all. And I hope, I have very high hopes. Because Nintendo in general never asks for feedback. Like, very, very rarely. So I think the dev team reaching out and saying like, hey, take this player survey for us. I don't think it's going to be another one of those like, which two characters do you think would make the coolest sleuthing detective duo? I don't think it's going to be that again. I feel like the questions and everything were far more tailored. That we might actually see some good improvement happening. But never trust the multi-million-dollar franchise that ultimately implements a monetarily predatory system in a game that you play. Goodwill only goes so far, right? And I am happy to support the games that I really like, that do right by the players, as the players do right by the developers, right? So I'm waiting. We've done the give. I'm I'm waiting for the take. Okay, on our end, and that's kind of where I am now, because I feel like the reason I say this, I feel like some people thought maybe I was a little negative. Could be true. Might not be true. When I was talking during the banner reaction, I was not trying to come across as negative. So hopefully that clarifies, I guess. If you were looking for clarification. If not, now you know my strategy. So, do with that as you will. But thank you again to members. I appreciate it. I am planning to be live tonight, so if you're watching this, there's a good chance that I am live either right now or shortly after this goes up. So feel free to stop on by. Appreciate it. If not, hey, I hope you have a stellar weekend. And I'll be live on Saturday doing just Gacha game stuff as we do. But that is it for now. Overall, relatively successful. We got, I don't know how many Mays we got. Were we one deep? How many did we actually need? We got so close. Wasn't it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we need 2 more to be complete in the moment. But hey, a double special is going to pop around at some point, right? So, not really a huge need to go in right now, but we'll see. We'll see. That was pretty lucky, I think, ultimately for Mays. Not much else. But May was, it's been years. It's been years, dude. So, even though it's one of my least favorite banner themes, I'm glad she got a little love, even if there's no Bowie attached to it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.